Welcome everybody to our RealBird hands-on workshop. We're going to get started here in just a few minutes. Thanks for joining us. You'll have an opportunity during the presentation today to be able to comment, ask questions. Apologize, you'll be in listen-only mode, but we still want you to be able to communicate. There's a chat box. Feel free to interact with us during our presentation, ask questions. And we'll be getting to those questions and answering them best we can during the presentation and finishing up at the end if we don't get them taken care of during our presentation. And we're going to start in just a few minutes. Thanks for joining us. Welcome, everybody, to our RealBird hands-on workshop. We're glad we can have you this Friday morning. Thanks for joining us. It's a privilege to be able to be a guest host on this workshop here today, to share with you how to leverage your RealBird tools and your listings within your social networks so that you can generate more business. That's what it's all about, letting people know who you are, how you can help them, and usually that's probably something to do with buying and selling real estate. So we're going to dive into this today, this topic. I'm going to share some real live examples of what's working and hopefully inspire you to stretch past what you're doing now to see if you can leverage your listings more using RealBird and your social networks to get more business, to connect with more people. We've got to let more people know what you're doing so they can so that you can help them. And I find that's the biggest frustration I find in working with real estate agents is they realize they have what other people need, but it's getting the message out so that, that people come to you and for business and to meet their real estate needs. I'm a guest host on this webinar workshop today. I'm also joined in the support role behind the scenes by Gabe Gross. Welcome, Gabe.
Hi,
He's one of the owners and developers of RealBird. He's with us here today, helping out. How you doing, Gabe?
Hi, everybody from Redwood City.
Yeah, Redwood City, all by that beautiful city by the bay, San Francisco. So great. Thanks for being here today, Gabe. We are going to be recording this webinar, and it will be available to be viewed. We're going to cover a lot of ground, and you might not be able to soak it all up in the 50 minutes or so that we're together. We want to make sure that you know that within our webinar tools, you have the ability to be able to ask questions. There's a chat box right there. Feel free to ask questions. Like I say, don't hold out the questions to the end. Whenever they hit you, put them in the chat box.
Hey, Eric.
Yeah.
Quick question: what are you showing on your screen? Because I have two screens. One my own presenter screen shows the social media buttons, and the other one shows some buildings.
Okay, so might be a little bit delayed. What I'm showing right now, I have that I'm broadcasting now my title slide, RealBird Hands-On Workshop with the social
Yeah, so
icons there in the middle.
I don't think it's updating.
Okay.
Slide, yeah, I see the title slide, which is RealBird Hands-On Workshops, but
right, yep.
Okay, so maybe my other computer is not.
Yeah, it might be
if anybody over there, if anybody in the audience can tell us what they see in the chat box, please.
I see Ann Brostek from Sarasota, Florida. Ann, if you can chat in that box and just give me a little feedback, a little pinging is from my little small dolphin brain. If you can.
Can you click on the second slide, Eric?
Sure, you bet. Yep. There we go. Just going to change. I know there's a little bit of delay.
Yeah, I can see the second slide on my presenter screen, but my my audience screen doesn't show it. So I don't know.
Okay. I think we're okay. I'm waiting back for any feedback that might show where we're at. Okay. All right. So.
Yeah. People see only the pictures of buildings.
Yeah, that's old. That's I clicked away from that about 5 minutes ago.
Can you stop the streaming and
And now the second slide.
Okay, it appeared on my presenter screen.
So I think you're good.
Let's see. Okay, now it's fine.
Okay, great. All right, so just a real quick basic overview. If you're a member of RealBird already, you probably already know this, but it helps to understand this a little deeper level. If you're considering RealBird and you're joining us on this webinar to see if RealBird will be a good tool, a box to work for you in your real estate, it will, but we want to convince you of that fact. Then you want to know this, that the RealBird is basically two parts. It's made of a listing publisher. This gives you the ability to be able to create single property websites that are what I call self-sustaining satellites that travel the internet specific to a property. Yeah, we've got a lot of background noise from you over there, Gabe.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm going to turn the microphone off.
Okay, no worries, no worries. So you sound healthy and happy. Okay, all right. So basically, the RealBird is built up of these two sides of the RealBird brain: the listing publisher and the property search. There's also another part to the RealBird tools. The listing publisher is probably the side that you'll get of the toolbox you'll get more use out of. And then basically you have the ability to create a listing, and this is a listing outside of the MLS. Yes, you can go ahead and put your listing inside the MLS, and it'll travel the internet with your information scraped off and another agent's or broker's information put there. And that's fine. If someone wants to bring a buyer to the listing you have, that's great. But we try to take more, with the RealBird, you can take literally more control of your listing so that you have more influence on it, and who sees it and who reacts to it and who shares it. And by having the ability to be able to create a single property website, and let me just share one so that you can see what I'm talking about. Here, let me go in here. Here's the listing. Yeah, okay. So this is a listing actually from a real life agent. Her name is Susan Rupert. She's in State College, Pennsylvania. It happens to be a listing it was like live in the last 48 hours. So it's fresh, and we're already getting some traffic on it. But the idea is that you have a presentation that you can have photo gallery, map, description of the area, local schools, also branded by your testimonials, or a profile page about you. So you're having a lot of opportunity to be able to create a space that's you as a real estate agent and also listing, so that can be shared, that can be seen, and by tons of people. And more specifically, what we're going to talk about today is how you can leverage single property websites and the RealBird tools to basically expand your influence. Okay. Now, if you're sitting down with a potential client, the client that wants to take you on as their seller's agent and wants you to help represent them in the selling of their home, what are the things they want? Well, their goals are obviously, the goal is to get the home sold fast, or fast as possible, highest price the market will bear, least amount of trouble to the family or the individual who's selling the home, obviously. So RealBird wants to play a part in that role, okay? And basically, the more aggressive you can be in sharing that listing and sharing the benefits of that listing, the more faster those three goals are going to happen, okay? And RealBird wants to take a part in helping you do that, okay? So I'm going to share with you that I feel that what you need to do is you need to understand that your equity or what you have to offer definitely is your services, okay? But they're represented by properties that you've represented before or will represent. So, for example, RealBird is kind of a unique tool in that you can add a listing that you sold 4 years ago, and it can have a benefit and influence in helping you get more of the same type of property. That is, add all your listings to RealBird. So you have the ability to create single property websites for all your listings, even the ones that are pending and sold, not just active. They can have a life on the internet, branded to you, where possible, of course. If this is not going to work in your area, if you're not allowed to do this, that's fine. I haven't found very many areas in the country where that's been a restriction. So I would tell you to do that. Let me just go ahead and pull up. Let's go ahead and pull up Susan's website. Let's see here. I got a lot of stuff open today. So, oh, here we go. State College. There we go. Okay, let me give you an example. So Susan is an agent in the State College. It's kind of centered around Penn State. It's a small area, but it's really, and because it has internationally recognized university, that is Penn State. It's people know about it, and people are moving in and moving out all the time. Well, RealBird gave me the opportunity with Susan to be able to have all of her homes. These are basically all the homes she's represented over. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see. Probably in the last 5 years. Penn State, you can see that she pretty much owns these areas. These are homes that she's either helped, by the way, listen, as a buyer or a seller. It doesn't matter. See, when you create a single property site, it doesn't say Susan represented the buyer in acquiring this house and negotiating a great deal. Or this is a home that Susan represented and was able to get 105% of asking price. It doesn't really say those things. Doesn't mean you can't say those things, but basically this isn't just identified as seller side. So these are, I got a little bit of static in my line. Are you hearing that too, Gabe? I'm just checking with you for the audio quality. So these are homes, I know, like this home she sold like to like a professional Major League Baseball player, and 4 years ago. But you don't know that. Prices if you post the price, but you don't even have to post a price. These are awesome homes she sold. The governor of this built this house after he left the governorship in 1880s. Yeah, after 1880s. So it's restored, just a beautiful home. But you can, she has a nice presentation here, plotted on a map, okay? Or shown in a kind of a Pinterest style presentation. And you can click on any one of these, and you can see how many times they've been seen. And that's not really that important. But what's important, if you need to sell your home in and around the Penn State area, Susan's your gal. She's got the goods to show that she's been successful in this area, in these areas. Okay. Now that's one of the tools that RealBird can help you out with. Now, do I think that every agent needs to have this on their website? Yes. I think on online portfolio where people can go and see what you've done, see your success. I think that's important. Okay. Now let me show you where to get that, because this is what we're all about today. It's how to use and leverage these tools. I'm inside her RealBird account. I'm going to go over, I'm logged in. I'm going to go over to listing marketing, and I'm going to go down to widgets. Okay. And let's see, how do I want to, okay, this would be right now, this happens to be her active listings. I'm seeing them right there. And I would, if I was to display this on her website, this grouper's Pinterest style, I would grab this code that they're giving me right off the bat. Those are active listings. If I would say, hey, let me, I want to show them a little larger size, I preview that code, and that's what I put on her website, and that they'll fit on her website. Okay. Now, if I wanted to grab her sold listings, like here's where she's been successful, similar to what you saw on the website, I would go to this one. See, I grabbed sold right here, and I selected these options, most recent first, and here's the homes that she's represented and sold. And there's some land listings in there as well. It's a great way to be able to show. I grab that code, highlight it all, and I'd be able to, and then I'd go to her website under a page. I'd create a page, add a title, and if you're using WordPress like I use with most of my clients, you'd have the opportunity to edit the page and be able to paste that, what I just copied from RealBird, into a page, into what we call the HTML or visual site. So that can be seen. Okay, there we go. So you can show that in all different ways. There are a lot of tools. By the way, the map I created on top, by clicking listing map, this is all under listing marketing and widgets. And listing map, this would default to here. These would be your active listings now. And then That would be a listing map. If I was to show the sold home she sold, preview and get map, and you see, there's quite a few. There we go. There we go. All bunched together. Okay, you get an idea as to what we're talking about. Okay, that's a RealBird tool that can help. That you can help show people if you choose sold. But I guess the powerful part of it is to be able to see it plotted on a map. But you got to get all your listings in here under listing marketing. If you need to add a listing and it's sold already, and it was 4 years ago, nothing wrong with that. They're not going to see a date on it. You don't even have to put a price if you don't want to. But at least make sure your market's sold, and then they'll start to show up in that map or in that gathered of their sold properties. Well, I want to talk about mainly today. It's about you leveraging your listings and leveraging your social media and RealBird together. But I wanted to go over this first because to me, the more that can be shared within your RealBird tools, the more people can see who you are, how you work, where you work. And so that's why I think it's important to do this as much as possible. Even if you just joined RealBird, you're new to RealBird, but you're not new to real estate. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, don't forget, you can ask questions in the chat box. And great. Awesome. Okay. So it looks like everybody's seen our PowerPoint. We're good to go. Okay. Okay, so
do you still hear static on the line? Eric?
No, I don't hear it. I do not hear
static on the sound? Okay.
No, I do not hear it. I'm good. Okay, so use RealBird as a place to show your success. That's kind of what it's about. And next, you got to identify your targeted social media networks. You don't have to do them all. You don't have to be engaged with them all. I'd say pick 2 or 3 to start with that are going to work for you. Okay. And gosh, there's many places that you can be with your services and the homes you represent. With my clients, I've been asked to share what I do. I work as a website marketer for real estate agents and helping them put their marketing pieces together, which of course RealBird is the center of the services I help my clients, my real estate clients with. It's a key part. And the other important part I use WordPress. That is, when a real estate agent can have a site on like a WordPress hosting platform, so that you're building your site with WordPress, you can do a whole bunch of cool things. I'm able to, for my clients, set their website up with WordPress, so that can truly be a kind of way to build a website, but also a publishing platform, so that you can publish to these different networks, and some of it automatically, or at least preset it in advance. And I'm going to show you an example of that today too as well. So you don't have to have your site with WordPress. I tell you, I've been with WordPress about 5 years for all my clients, and what's happened in the last 2 to 3 years is more and more companies that do websites for realtors are using the WordPress. Even big companies like Playster and Market Leader are using WordPress to be able to build sites for realtors. And because WordPress really can be a publishing platform, and then it works really, really well with the RealBird. And I'm going to actually demonstrate that for you today. I've got some examples here of agents I think that are using these tools properly and leveraging these different social networks. What's a social network? It's a group of people that share content with each other. Either there's a common interest or a common focus, and the social side is what people share with each other, basically. And there are opportunities for you to share socially, but on a business level. So I'm sharing some tools today that I think should be used. Like I said, don't have to use them all, but I think it's a good place to start. Okay, number one place I think you should be with the social, with your social network, and then of course then thereafter sharing, using or leveraging RealBird to share what you have, is Facebook. So what this means is all of you have, well, if you're doing Facebook at all, you have a personal profile. The personal profile is your email and your password. It's your key into the Facebook kingdom. That is, in order to get to your business side.
Eric.
Yeah.
I think your screen has got stuck again. It shows a lake with.
Whoa, a lake. Okay.
a link with trees. Are you there? Sorry, guys. Something with the webinar system here. The streaming gets stuck.
What they can see is we're showing where you could be with your services and homes. RealBird, social icons.
Yeah. So hold on a second. So because there's a delay between. Yeah, I think it'll work now.
Okay. Thanks.
Yes, it does work.
Just tell me to refresh next time, and I'll make sure, and then we'll just so we can stay caught up. Okay. My favorite one is Facebook. Like I say, you have to get into your personal side to get to your business side. Meaning, Facebook, it doesn't really cost you anything to log in, register with Facebook. Your personal side is going to be your sphere of people that know you as a person, not necessarily as a real estate agent. The personal side, you're going to have a personal profile page. You're going to have people that, how you can tell the difference when you're on your personal side and your business side is, personal side you'll see on Facebook, if it says like, that means it's a business. You're on the business side. If you see friend under here or like friend me, that means you're on the personal side. And it gets confusing. I'm going to tell you, if you're not careful, it could be really, really confusing. But they shouldn't be sharing, interacting on the personal side too much with business. Now, I think it works to talk about, because in a way you are an individual and a realtor. There's nothing wrong with saying, gosh, I'm so excited. I have clients that, John and Nancy Ammon, that we were able to help them hand over keys for their new home. And I felt proud to, privileged to have the opportunity to represent them in their new life moving forward. Now that's about real estate, but it's also about social. And in a kind of a coy kind of way, it's sharing the success of your day or in the life of a realtor, so to speak. Okay. And I think that's fine. I don't make the rules of Facebook, but they don't want you openly promoting, hey, I'm a realtor, come hire me, or hey, here's a beautiful home. You might want to ask me for an open house or a date to show it to you. That is kind of overt way of basically saying, let's do some business together. And Facebook gives you the chance to do that on the business side. Now, here's something that not a lot of agents a lot of people know is, okay, so here's Bob Santucci. He's a very successful agent up in the Healdsburg area near the wine country in Northern California. And he's done a really good job. He's got a great persona online. He expresses himself as a professional, but always kind of that servant type of realtor that, hey, I'm here to help. How can I help? He has a real cool thing he does every Friday. Hey, here's a free item of value you probably didn't know about. And he shares that in his posts. He shares a lot of great things. He shares his expertise and knowledge about what's happening. Look at that. He's even sharing a coming soon listing. Pretty cool. And 77 people were interested. Look, like this was a Friday item of value. This is a week ago. Okay. Tesla just revealed how much its solar roof will cost. Really awesome article. Obviously, 54 people were interested in it. And some people even commented. He also does a great job of kind of sharing his personalized feeling. Now, he's found a great picture of, an idea of what you might do with an outdoor porch area. But he talked about him. I love outdoor porch. I love it. Just if you work well and need help, real estate, give me a call. Casual. 145 people. Yeah, you might say, hey, I don't have time to do this, but I'm going to tell you, not leveraging a tool like this. Facebook didn't charge him to have this Facebook business account. It's not hard to set up a Facebook business account. You upload an image. You can have some tabs that can do some pretty cool things. You can show videos you created. You can show your reviews. People can review you here. He's got one review so far, but it's a 5-star review. Nothing wrong with that. And by the way, make sure you like your own page. I've seen so many agents not like their page. So this doesn't really cost anything to have a Facebook business page. But here's the thing that I was going to share with you that not a lot of agents know. Who's going to see what he's sharing here? Okay. Well, he's got 149 follows. The people, say for example, he wants to share content here and maybe even place an ad. to advertise a home for sale or an open house. Similar to kind of what he's doing here. He's not really paying here. He's just creating a post in his timeline. But you can do that in Facebook because you can, buy ads to put in front of people. And so you can do that. Okay, so the audience that shows up here is related to sphere that's on your personal side. So that is this. The more you interact on the personal side of Facebook, the more people will see what you're doing on the business side, even though in a way they might seem like they're not connected, but they kind of are. That's where some of the audience comes from. So I get agents all the time that say, okay, Eric, I want to do my Facebook business page. I'm going to get set up. I'll show my listings there. I'll show all my services. But I don't want to do the personal side. I just want the business side. And you'll see some interaction here that he has with his post, that people are reacting and commenting. And these numbers are high when someone is fit on their personal side. Those I have agents. I have a couple agents that are older. They're in one's in their partnership in their 80, one's in their 80s, another one's in their 70s, early 70s, and they just we don't do the Facebook. We want our Facebook business page to do all the business for us. And you'll see the same type of these numbers, but these will be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not very helpful. I'll be honest with you. You want the business side and say, hey, I got tons of people on my personal side, but not a lot on my business side. What do I do? Well, how you get those people to see what you have on your business side. And here's the trick. Listen, the people they know that you don't know to also see what you're doing here and what you're sharing here, okay, is to get them to like your page. That's kind of their key into your business side of your kingdom, so that they see what you're sharing there. And of course, also because they share, other people see it. But not only that, but Facebook kind of blends their spheres with yours to see what you have on your business side. So the key is to make this as informative as possible. Now, I'm going to make a bold statement here, and you might think I'm crazy. There are agents that are basically saying, I don't need a website anymore. I'm just using my business Facebook page. And you could do that. And you can use tabs you can create. You can add content. You can add RealBird content to here. I mean, we have content from Susan Rupert, and she uses her tabs to post her listings and post books to read, videos. Here's her listings. You have the opportunity to be able to do that. I think I got this here. So this happens to be, and this is the part I want to share with you today. As part of RealBird, you have a set of mobile tools that helps people connect with your properties, your listings, both active, pending, sold. See that? Active, pending, sold. As well as search for properties. Remember we talked about that property search that's involved with RealBird? Well, this property search is built into this as well, this tool. This is a RealBird tool, but I've happened to make this show up inside her Facebook business page. This even links to her blog post, her latest blog post. Yeah, Gabe, you wanted to share something? Yeah.
At this point, I would just like to point everybody's attention a little bit to just outside of this for our new product, Homes by SMS, because it's mobile related, right? And probably not everybody knows about it, or probably very few people know because we just launched it recently. It's the website is homesbysms.com. SMS, homes by S as in Sam, M as in Mary, S as in Sam. And it's a texting property search. The selling point for that, it's a separate product from what Eric is showing here. You can add texting here to the pro version, of course, but this Homes by SMS allows you to do property searches for the clients, to do property searches simply by texting a location to your dedicated phone number, texting phone number. And you always get a lead, of course, and everybody's texting is the simplest interface. Texting is by far the simplest interface. So it's really quick. It has several other advantages. I don't want to take the time here necessarily. We had a webinar about this, and if anybody's interested, you can call me or email me. But I just wanted to make sure that you know about this product.
All right, Gabe, thanks. Can you hear me okay, Gabe?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so this is a tool you also might not know about. RealBird's had it for a while, but it's a great tool to kind of put your tools in a mobile format that'll work with anything on an iPad, on an iPhone, phone, doesn't matter. It's all optimized. It's another way to share what you have to offer. And this is available inside your RealBird account. Let me go and show you where that is, and then we'll jump back to our social networks. Let's go here, mobile site. I'm in realbird.com, logged in, and then go to mobile site. The Susans happen to be State College, PA, RealBird. And then so that you can see what that looks like, this is what it looks like. I was able to grab the code right here to get it and embed it within her Facebook real estate Facebook business page.
We have a question here from Anne. She's asking, how often can you share from your business info listings?
On the personal page. Okay, so Anne asked on the personal. I would just say you need to share differently on your personal side than you do your business side. It can't be overtly, hey, come. I would say if it sounds like what you're talking about. Here's a listing. Here's an open house. I think I think you have to be careful because that's reaching out to people saying, hey, come do business with me. I think you sharing on your personal side or it's really a personal profile. Excuse me. I think you got to share more in the life of a realtor, because just as you run through your life, you're sharing what's working. Not so much, hey, I'm a realtor, come buy from me. Hey, come to my open house. I see agents, by the way, that don't adhere to that, and what they're doing is they're kind of playing with fire, because their terms of service of Facebook, when you looked at all those things you didn't really read, is that they have the ability to pull the carpet out from underneath you. That is, take away your Facebook key. Because remember, it's saying, what if you have a lot of people following you? I mean, on a personal side, I got grandkids, and we share. That's one way to share. And on the personal side, you're sharing everything about family and everything, and grandkids, and what the videos, what they did. Okay, so that's the personal side, and you like all those things. You're connected with all those people. You're able to share. Well, and you've also been sharing on the business side, but for more overt, come to my open house, here's a new listing, some things you need to consider, you're sharing your expertise on the business side. Well, what happens if a lot of people in both ways and you go against those rules on the personal side, do too much, hey, come buy from me or come sell with me or come to my open house? If they pull the plug out from you, they pull the whole carpet, both sides. So it means no more Facebook business page and all the people that liked your site, and that might be a lot. And then no more personal side. So I'm not saying there's a lot of agents that push the envelope. I'm just saying be careful. Move at your own risk, and understand that there's a proper way to do both inside the personal. But if they pull the rug out from your personal side, that's your login into the Facebook world. They pull it out, you got to start all over, and that's not easy to do, or you get blacklisted. I have a client of mine up in Northern California, and she pushed too much, and now she can't post. She's still live in there, but she can't post on her business side or place ads. Placing ads at Facebook is where it's at. It's not in Google anymore. If you're going to interact, the idea that Facebook has however many, I don't know, a billion people on Facebook. The idea that Facebook knows about each one of those people, how much money they make, male, female, what their interests are. Where they live, what their intentions are, likely to move. I could place an ad in fact, we did this. We placed an ad for Susan Rupert for one of her listings to put it in front of people that Susan doesn't know, but Facebook knows. I've got as little as 5 to 10 cents a click to put what Susan wants to put in front of people she doesn't know. As little as an average around 20 to 30 cents a click, but that's really dirt cheap to put your offering in front of someone for that much, for that little money. You can't do that in Google. You want to click in Google, it's pretty much 75 cents each, usually $1 or $2 each to get in front of people. And just to let you know, okay, people aren't hanging out in Google. They're not living their lives in Google. Okay, they're not. And by the way, not everybody's in Facebook. Not everybody's there. A lot of people are, and they're in it often during the day, even at work. So that's why Facebook, I know we kind of spent a lot of time on Facebook already, but it's already, 35 after the hour. But Facebook is the place where you need to be. And you need to be there with your personal profile doing real estate properly. You need to set up a Facebook business page. Once again, it doesn't cost anything to do that. Now, if someone wants to hire me to do that, I do, of course, do that. It charges just a couple hours to go in and create it and optimize it and make it look great. But this is a place where they've made it really easy to share who you are. And then once your business Facebook page is uploaded and created, you can then share listings or open houses or articles you want to share that show you as an expertise in a specific area. Okay. All right. Okay. So the second one I would say would be Pinterest. And I'm going to show you that this is the best example I've ever seen of someone who's really leveraging Pinterest. And it happens to be Raj. He's a guy, he's got a website called the Boutique RE in Orange County, California. And he's been doing this for a while. And he uses his Pinterest boards to kind of be, it's not just, hey, I'm the realtor, but he also shares lifestyle in Orange County. Because isn't that true as a real estate agent? You represent an area, and your knowledge and expertise in that area to know the schools, know the businesses, know the lifestyle in the area. And that's what we hope to attract people to see you as an expert in the area. So he's got all kinds of stuff. And basically what you're doing is pinning in Pinterest is you're pinning media. You're pinning images and topics that are of interest to you that might fall in certain categories. And these categories are like a bulletin board, like a pin board, like here's just Orange County in general spaces. Here, and he's sharing his listings. Okay, this is within him. He has 293 pins just in this bulletin, just in this pin board, and he's got 2,800 followers. Now, a lot of people, other agents that have seen the really cool way he's used Pinterest, but there's no doubt that he's used these listings to be able to share what he knows. Okay, so I'm clicking that. What am I going to see when that pulls up? I'm going to show a listing that he has on his website. Pretty cool. Now, obviously, that's been up a while. This one's sold. Okay. And not going to be a lot of information there because it's a sold listing. Okay. But the idea is people like looking at pictures. It doesn't really say here. Let me try to click on a listing. It might be active so you can see. Okay. See, this is all his favorite spaces. Like obviously this is a nice family, great room with a great big screen TV. He's got some other ones in here. So some of these are actually listings or might be just different examples of spaces, and people love to look visually. They love to look at visual ideas, and that's kind of what this is. So he's got our team. They do a lot of multimedia in their company. They write a lot of articles, and look at this. He's got video because you can link from your YouTube. These are members of his team, so they get to know them. That's pretty cool. So I'm leaving those in my notes. I'm going to happy to share the notes with you after. I want to get them share some more stuff with you here. Okay. Here we go. So this is one of the easiest ways. And the other one is Twitter. And you might say, well, I don't tweet a lot. I'm not sure this will be helpful to me. Well, I hope at least you're tweeting your listings and your articles. And we're going to come back around, and we're actually going to take a listing out of RealBird and then share it for Susan through Rupert. The listing's already in RealBird. We're going to share it through a WordPress website. It's going to go to different networks. One of these being some of the areas. So Twitter. Let's see if we can pull that up. So you can see. She tweets a little bit, not a whole lot, but she still has people following her, and she got likes as well. And she shared articles. Now, there are some services out there that curate articles that you can brand as your own and then share within your website and then syndicate out to your network. This is one of the things that I do with my clients as well, because I want them to build their social networks up. I want them to be able to share content on a regular basis. some of it being a RealBird listing, some of it being these articles. This is a company I really like called Keeping Current Matters. And I realized the articles are all about real estate pretty much, and about financing. Is a good time to buy, is a good time to sell, and yes, you should hire a realtor, and why, going FSBO is not, it is not the way to go. So, and they do have some good resources here. Let me put Casey and blog issue I'm talking about. For $20 a month, you guys get free guides and reports and share on your website or share in your article stream. And they're all great articles.
Hey,
and there's a way to feed these. Yeah, go ahead.
Eric, I think that your screen is not showing the.
That's all right. That's fine. It doesn't change. I'll just refresh it.
Sorry, guys. There is something definitely happening with the webinar.
Okay. Yeah, I just refreshed it. All right.
Okay, that should work.
So I really like this company. I know all the articles that they give that help you curate. And by the way, I'm able to make these show up on the client's website, so they're branded by them and it's all connected to them. They're all kind of real estate related. So I don't think this should be the only content you should have that you should be sharing and curating. But it's just an inexpensive way, $20 a month, and you get some great buyer guides, seller guides, and some great articles with a lot of great infographics. People love infographics because it's a lot of information delivered in an easy to consume package. I think, and they give you a profile page. Anyway, I know spiff if you buy from them, but I'm going to tell you, I think it's worth it to have something to share, because we want to keep the people that are connected with you in your social media engaged, so that you're constantly sharing stuff. Okay, I'm backing up here because I've covered a lot of ground here today. Okay, so, and by the way, the graphics they give you, you can share in Pinterest, and they'll share in Twitter as well. The other part I think you need to be in is an Active Rain. Active Rain is what I call the peer-to-peer network, but they have a realtor to consumer side called Rainmaker. The realtor to realtor side is free, and you can go in there and share a listing, and you'll get comments on it from other agents. Like, here's a listing here, right? Let's see, here we go. Okay, so this is a listing that we posted through using the RealBird tools, created a blog post inside profile there. And you can see it shows the slideshow, the pictures, plus one featured image you're able to add now that didn't have that before. So, you constantly see the front of the house. Take some of your other listings and to your post as well. And they kind of give kind of a branded area, of information. And then here's agents that are already commenting on it. And, they're kind of a congratulations, nice house, nice job with the presentation. But these are other rainmakers, because Susan happens to be a rainmaker. I think she paid like somewhere around $150 to $200 a year to have her content not only seen among other realtors, but seen outside, so that Google can see it as well. And the cool thing is they're sharing this listing too. And isn't that your obligation also when you have a listing, is to be aggressive and to be able to network with other realtors to, they might have a buyer for your property. They need you, you need them, so this is a great opportunity to be able to do that, and they can be shared there as well. Okay, how was this created and posted inside Active Rain? This was done in RealBird. So when you have a listing, RealBird turns on these tools so that you can share. For example, that article and share it within Susan's network within Active Rain. I would click embed on Active Rain or blogs. Also, this part works on the website as well. In fact, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and take this a listing in here, and I'm going to share it. And you benefit of that 5 to 8 minutes that we're together, just kind of show it, wrap it all together in a nice package with a bow. Okay, this gives you the code either going to Active Rain or going into your website. Pretty cool. Okay, I'm going to tell you that what I usually do is I turn information. I don't show that because everywhere it's going to be within Active Rain. When I posted there, her picture's right here. So having her picture twice, not all that important. Okay. So I was in RealBird right here. Here we go. So I'm going to go grab a listing while I'm in here in RealBird. I'm going to grab a listing that we need a little help with to get the word out about. We have this really nice house in Heston. This is near the lake. It's home, but more of an established one, and it's kind of like a tree in the woods. It's really cool. I'm going to grab that one. I'd like to share that one. So I'm going into embed on Active Rain and blogs. Now I'm going to share this actually within our website. I'm going to go. I'm going to turn off the contact information. I'll make it a little bit wider. There we go. Generate the code. All right. I'm going to grab that link. I'm going to go over to now. Remember, I shared with you that I'm not going to launch it yet, but I'm going to at least have it ready to go. Okay. Let's see. Just find my page. We have a lot of pages open here. Okay. There we go. I'm just going to log. I've set the systems up so that when I post a blog post, it goes to her blog, but it also gets syndicated automatically to Facebook, Twitter, Google+, LinkedIn. And then I can share it. One more step, I can share it with Pinterest, and I'll actually do that here today. So this is a bit of demo, a bit of show you how, a bit of, hey, did you know you could do this stuff? Because I think sometimes you need to be able to say, hey, I think I could do that. I could do that. It's not terribly hard. Okay, so I'm logging into your website. Well, that's spin, and I'll go over here. I've gathered the code that I need. Code. Is her. Okay, so okay. All right. So I'm in the back of her website. I'm going to create an article or post on her website. It's going to be syndicated, and RealBird's give me the code to advertise this listing. Okay. All right. So vacation home. Oops. Here we go. Represent her well. Sale. And this is in Heston, which is outside, closer to Huntington, Pennsylvania. Okay. And I told you I was using WordPress, so I'm going to click the text side. If you're not using a WordPress website, usually when you're going to add some code that RealBird will give you for a few different tools that they represent, you're going to look for HTML. Or I'll even give you this, because sometimes you don't even see HTML, but you'll see icons like this. Gabe, I'm just checking with you to make sure you can hear and see me. So we make sure we have good transmission. This greater than, greater than, less than greater than symbols usually means HTML. So if you see that instead of text or HTML, that's the place you want to add the code. How am I doing, Gabe?
You're doing fine. You're doing fine.
Okay, so I'm just refreshing every once in a while just to make sure we don't miss anything. Okay. All right. So I'm going to add a category here. Vacation home. You live with us when you're around, but I'm going to go ahead and just add in a category because it's always good to be able to add a category, use one that fits. Okay, there we go. All right. Now this, by the way, she just happens to use. We have it all set up here. She actually has 2 Google accounts we post to, Tumblr account as well, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. So when I post this, I'm going to go ahead and add. I'm going to add a featured image to this, just so that we can make sure that we're representing the home well. Okay, give me a second here. I'm doing this live on the shot. Of course, my job is to convince you that that you can do this. Okay, so here we go. I'm just grabbing an image here. I got my folders all. Here we go. Acorn there. Okay. Yeah, it's near the lake, and that's kind of cool. People want to see that near the lake. Yeah, there we go. So I add a good featured image. By the way, while I'm in here, the RealBird account, I also want to grab a branded version of this to post in like Craigslist or use them their social media. So I'm going to create a so there's the image. It takes the first image of the house, brands it with a logo, contact information, the text to get the listing to the phone. So I just right click and save that image as. And I'll save that in a folder there too. A lot of times places like Craigslist, they're kind of restrictive on what images you can use. So RealBird's got a real cool way around that. To add it, just one of 25 or so images would be this branded one after you save it like I just did. Okay? Be descriptive. Because this home is kind of a, I guess, weekend getaway that she calls this kind of a weekend getaway home. Weekend. That's probably one word. Sorry about that. I'm on the fly here. Weekend getaway. Vacation home for sale in Heston. It's a little ways away from Penn State, but a lot of people look, getting away from the hustle and bustle of a little town like State College. If you need it, this is a home that'll fit the bill. Okay, so I've got a vacation home. I've got that in there. I've got my categories. I've uploaded a featured image. Let's go ahead and click on the visual side. You won't see a lot of information. Some of this ad this article is created once you save it, but it does have links to the maps, photos, description, her other listings. Here's this area. See, there's the lake nearby right there. Okay, so don't worry, it'll reset. Okay, so we've got all there. I'm going to go ahead and post that and then share with you just with what's listings in RealBird how fast I'm able to do all these things. Now, key is, I think, is having a WordPress site. You don't have to have a WordPress site. You can use the links inside RealBird. You can use links like I'm going to go ahead and pull up this list. You can use built into the website to the single property website to be able to share. You can see you can share that on Facebook. You can pay here. So if you don't have WordPress, that's okay. You could still do that. Yeah, you could still share it. I just find it's a lot easier if you can share it. If you can share it inside, right? Because then, by the way, when they click on it, the links, some of the links come back to your website, so it actually brings more traffic back to your website. Okay, so I just published that. Did I? Yes. Let's go see what it looks like on the public side. Heston. PA. Okay, there it is with my nice slideshow, maps. Notice it didn't close the website to see those other resources. It just opened and be cool. Photo gallery, local things, descriptions. I'm clicking really fast through here. I'm probably making your head swim. Okay, now here's what I want to show you. Here's the beauty of this. And click on our Facebook page. Okay, this is your business Facebook page. This is live. This is not Memorex. Well, you might be watching this as a recorded video. All right. Here we go. Boom. There we go. Links back to the website. RealBird helped me put this together. And then, of course, I can boost that post very quickly. She happens to have an audience that a couple audiences that I've already built inside her Facebook page that might be interested in this, that I can then pay a few bucks. And this is usually no more than 25, 40, 50 bucks. I can boost it to 8, 9, 10,000 people that she doesn't know for cheap. That's really pretty good. Okay, so that is her Facebook business page. Let's check out Twitter. Option turned on. It goes also from Facebook over to Twitter, so that's where I'm reiterate this one better with a bigger picture. Okay. Let's see, Google Plus as well. Google Plus is what I call more the geeky side. This one's taking a little more time to get there. And LinkedIn. Okay, what's cool about LinkedIn is I've been posting articles for my clients to LinkedIn for quite a long time. and where we've had the ability to be able to do sharing with you here today. But when you shared a post in this area, usually it's hard to find. The people that are connected to you will see it, but it's kind of hard to find what you actually posted, syndicated out from your website. But actually, they make it a lot easier nowadays. This can be in here, and now it shows, what she posted connected to her, and of course to the people that know her. She has 751 followers there. Okay, and then let's go ahead and share this listing in Pinterest. Let me show you how to do that. Okay, let me go back to the RealBird area. RealBird. So I want to post this. So I pulled the listing up, and I'm going to share Pinterest down here. Here we go. Have this pop up. Okay, great. I'm going to make sure I'm on her board. Choose a board. Okay, I'm probably in mine. Let me see where I am. Okay. Pinterest. I want to be at Susan's. Doesn't mean I can't like it and she can't have it shared there. You see where I've been already today. Okay, that's fine. I could share that too. But she has a section in her on her boards where she shares her active, pending, and closed listings. Let me see if I can log into her, and that'll be a little more closely related to her to be able to share that. Are you guys? Ask a general question. Have you agents that are visiting us today on this webinar here today, have you been using these tools in this way? Maybe I'm kind of throwing a blanket question out there. Okay, she's got different things that she's been sharing. Click on her profile. She has her different boards. She has a board. Yeah, here's actually the listing was already promoted. It's already added to here, but her boards are. She has here's my active listings, and then I can go in there. There's just one that actually went pending last week, so I need to go in there and mark it pending so it'll show up in this stack. But this is kind of cool to be able to share. And actually, this has already been shared here. But how I did was I pulled up the listing. Now it's going to pull up her boards, right, instead of mine. Okay. Which word do you want to pin it to? All boards, so I can choose a board. This is active listing. I will put it in there again. It's already in there, but it just shows you I was able to post to 5 different places in about 3 minutes. And if you add up all the people that follow her that have a chance to see that, you're talking, I think there's a 751 here. Okay. Her Facebook, how many people follow? 561 there. There's 1,300 people there. Or Google Plus, I don't know. Oh, it's 191. So what's that? 7, 8, 12, 1,400 there. And so that was Twitter, Google Plus, Facebook. Oh, Pinterest. I don't know how many people have followed on our Pinterest. I think she has 187 people that follow on our Pinterest. I'm going to miss her right now. See that? Okay. My program's getting confused because I'm logged in a couple different ones. Okay, 72 followers on here. So within about 3 minutes, he's able to share this listing just with what I just did to about 1,300 people that are going to be able to have an opportunity to be able to see that. And then, of course, if they click on it or comment it or share it or repost it or retweet it, that exponentially increases the people who are going to see that are going to see those what she has to offer. And like I say, you're not just offering listings in here. So so I talked about those. I'm going to share also that LinkedIn, I think, is a great place to be. I shared that with you, how to show you how quickly you can have your listings or your articles there. I hope you're creating videos for all your YouTube. Here's a video. In a way, YouTube is social media for sure. So here's a YouTube channel for one of our clients at RealBird, Steve Adams, and he's got a nice cover image there. And these are some homes he sold. This is a home he has right now that's active listing, and he's got a video going there of a presentation of the home. And it's not hard to create a video with some pictures. You have your great qualities of photographs. You can add those together in Movie Maker or PC or iMovie if you're on a Mac. You can make a movie very quickly. Use it to it or not use it to it. And then you can then upload them to your YouTube channel. But people will see, people will comment, and people follow. So those are all things. You want people to follow you. You want people to read what you have to provide. You want people to retweet it in Twitter. You want them to share it in Facebook or other social medias like YouTube. So take advantage of these opportunities that are in front of you. Don't let it be overwhelming to you. Say, okay, I'm going to start with one. I just want to, but I'm going to tell you, I run into this all the time. I work with agents who say, okay, I want to focus on this one thing till I get it perfect right and fully understand it. Okay, well, then you'll miss out on opportunities in these other places too. Only understand enough to be able to add content to it and share it with other people. That's sufficient. And make sure, of course, you look good with your logo and your picture and your cover image. Make sure that it represents you, that the contact information is obviously all correct. And then move on to the next one and leverage that one. Here's what a real estate company, they're leveraging Flickr, which is a photo sharing website. And you might say, well, I didn't know you could do real estate on Flickr. Well, you can. And they share their listings, share the beautiful photography. Then they watermark them so no one will steal them, and use them for their website, real estate website. I'll add another one in here, which you might even find because it's owned by, it's actually owned by Facebook. And I'll add it back in here. And this might even fit in between, might even be ahead of the 5. It might be here on under 4, and that's Instagram. Instagram is another visual place that people share easily from their phone or from their Facebook account. And you can use, there are tips for using, not enough time to share with you today, but there are tips for using and leveraging Instagram for real estate, and you can do that. Believe it or not, there's actually a group out there called Snap Shack. I think Snapchat. Anyway, okay, Snapchat is social media where you share content and it kind of dissolves and it goes away and very quickly. But there's realtors that are using Snapchat to build a deeper audience with younger folks, millennials, people that use Snapchat on a regular basis. My kids are all millennials, and they all use Snapchat and they all use Instagram. And there's agents that want to move into that so they can influence, have connection, influence. I tell you, the millennials, they don't like email a lot. They love to chat. Gabe talked about that earlier, the SMS. More and more people are using that. More people would love to use that. So these are some different places that you could be. We don't quite have enough time to be able to show you how to use them, but hopefully I've whet your appetite enough to get you interested and just pick one, work with it, get it started. Hopefully that's Facebook, and get busy with it. Get your listings all in whatever status they're in. Get them in RealBird. Use them, share them. Start sharing content. Here's what's interesting to me. I've been trying to get real estate agents to blog for 10 years. This is how long I've been working with real estate agents doing marketing. Of course, blogging's been a big part of that. And it's hard. I'm going to tell you, it's been an uphill battle. And when I tell an agent, hey, you need to be blogging to increase your influence and increase your sphere of influence, people that can come to you for real estate services and real estate help. And they'll tell me, Eric, I can't blog. I don't know how to write an article. And I'm like, you're already blogging. If you have a client that calls you and says, Mary, we're looking to move up to the next area in this part of the county, and we know you should do real estate in that area. You know the area well. What do we do? What are some areas we should be looking at? What's areas you don't want necessarily traffic, want to be outside the city a little bit. You, as a real estate agent, could be Johnny on the spot and deliver the advice, the expertise that person needs on the fly. You wouldn't need a blog. You wouldn't need a website. You wouldn't need, hold on, let me check on that. You could do that. And you sharing that expertise and knowledge with that client on that private conversation is blogging. The idea is you're helping that one person with what they need now. Okay, but all blogging is basically sharing that expertise through a way that you could share it with more people and share it again and again and again without having to share it again and again, face-to-face, live, and in real time. So the idea is make a note of the questions your clients ask you, the things they need help with. Write articles as if you're answering them in a long, not necessarily a long blog post or article, But you may doesn't have to be a blog post article on your WordPress website. Answer it in Facebook. You know, I'm asked by a lot of people if the Seattle home prices will, if they feel they'll continue to rise, where it's, you know, nobody's moving out of Seattle. By the way, it's happening real right now. That's part of the reason why the prices are going up and staying up and still going up in the Seattle area, because people love the area, good jobs, nobody wants to leave. And there more and more people are coming to the area, more demand, and there's not enough houses, low supply. Okay, so wouldn't that be a cool article to write about? You know, do you think people would want to know or be informed about that type of information? Absolutely they would. I'm just saying, use these social media networks. Pick one, start it, get it started, but get your listings in RealBird and then start sharing what you have, what you create in RealBird with those listings, along with your expertise that you're sharing, and then share through your networks. Take advantage of it. And don't tell me you don't blog. You blog all the time, but it's a private conversation. The Google can't see that expertise you're sharing with them in a private conversation. You put it in an article, you share in your social media network. People are going to see that, hey, you must be an expert. You must know your stuff. So be as verbose in sharing your expertise and knowledge through these other mediums, besides just recognizing you're helping one client at a time. And how many clients can you handle at a time, one at a time, when you're talking one at a time? But with these other tools, you can share more. So that's my perspective. Any questions?
Well, the screen got stuck again, but I guess we're at the end of it. So it was showing the that landscape with the night refresh.
I'll check my refresh rate. I have a lot of high bandwidth, so I didn't think it would be a problem today. Maybe it's an issue. Anyway, thanks everybody for being part of our presentation here today. If you're going to be getting a link to be able to watch this webinar again, I'll put my stuff out there. If you need help setting some of these systems up, give me a call. I'm happy to set some time aside, and this is something I do, help real estate agents kind of put all the parts together. And that's why I'm asked to come and to share on the webinars what's working and specifically how to leverage RealBird, because I think it's the most awesome tool I've ever known, and I've been in this industry helping agents since 1998. And I've known RealBird now over 10 years, and it's I've seen a lot of tools come and go, but RealBird has staying power, and all the things that you could buy on a monthly or yearly basis for real estate agent as a real estate agent. And RealBird is about the best $120 or so a year money you can spend, hands down. Haven't seen any other tool that leverages that little money for so much. Anyway, thanks everybody. Come back again. We're going to have another webinar, and pay notice on your when you're logging your RealBird account. Those are always posted right inside your account. Here we go. Okay. Right at the top, you always see, you just go to RealBird.com, but you'll see RealBird, and this will be post the next one that we're going to have one. Okay, so soon we'll be posting another one to get together in the next week or two. All right, thanks for joining us. Have a great day.
Bye, everybody. See you in 2 weeks.
Bye-bye.